on? So I hope everyone is having as good a day as I am. It has been a crazy day, but it has been definitely a good one. I want to go over a couple of things today and share a video from Brett with you guys because they've got a pretty cool stuff going on over at Directors. They're always doing different things to kind of help with facilitating getting your offer accepted over others once you are doing financing. It definitely does make a difference who the buyers are financed through. I just beat an offer. I think I shared this with you guys last week. It closes on Monday, but I beat out a financed offer that was almost $40,000 higher by being cash, which is crazy, right? Like I looked at that, but I do believe the appraisal, they would have had an issue with appraisal to get that high. So what I like to do is always talk to my lenders and figure out, okay, what's the best way? Because most people, most buyers are going to be financed. I don't know about you guys, but I don't have like a huge list of cash buyers. I do have some hard money guys. I do have some cash buyers, but the majority of buyers that I work with are going to be financed. So working to find out information about all different lenders, what they have to offer, what they don't have to offer. I had somebody call me and they said, oh, you know, my buyer can't purchase this new construction they're in love with because the lender said that it's a Fannie Mae guideline that you have to get hit with 1.5% of the purchase price for taxes. Well, that's actually not correct. And so I called, because I always double check myself. I called one of my lenders and I said, hey, what do you guys hit people with on new construction where the taxes haven't been assessed yet? And he said, well, 1%. And I said, not 1.5%. And he said, no. I said, okay, because it didn't used to be a Fannie Mae guideline. That's an overlay by the bank. So when lenders are telling you things, don't just say, yes, 100%, I accept that. As a listing broker, don't accept what the list or what the lenders tell you 100% either. Guys, it's not just for buyers. As a listing agent, I call the lender, and I'm glad I always do this. I found out about the appraisal coming in at value on my property, my listing that closed yesterday, because I was proactive contacting the lender. You always want to be in contact with them. We had an issue on that one. It was supposed to close over a week ago. And the lender was in full communication with me because I'd been in communication with them throughout the process. So I called and was just like, okay, really, is this going to close? And they were like, yes, it's going to close. So this is what happened. And they just laid it out there, which made my seller much more comfortable because we're not dealing with just this glossed over, oh, here, the best foot forward, you know what's going on. So on that note, I'm going to play a video that I got from Brett. I am going to send it out as well so that you guys can check it out. Hold on, I'm just going to pop in here. Here we go. Can you guys all see the video screen? Yes? No?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
No sound.
No sound?
Looks like the sound doesn't work when you're streaming the video on Zoom.
There's a way to do it on Zoom where we can hear it from your computer, but I'm not sure.
Okay, hold on. Okay, hold on.
I think you gotta click on the video itself, not on the play. Maybe that works. Sometimes that.
Let's see. I'll click on the video itself. Anything?
Nah, it's a little, no.
You can hear or you can't?
Cannot.
No?
No. We can hear
Okay.
it like it's playing for you, but not directly from your computer.
Let's see here. Let's see if this one will work better. Please, please work. Okay. Can you hear?
No.
Okay.
I think if you go into your share screen, there's a place for sound. I think it gives you those some options, but because I can't get into it now, I can't direct you.
Okay, hold on. Let's see here. Remote control, would that be it?
No,
Nope.
it says something like sound from your computer or something.
Share computer sound. Let's try now.
Insured banking platform. And the reason we built this out was to find a way to give consistent savings to our clients over the life of the loan. So essentially, if a client helps to set up a checking account and makes their auto pay mortgage from it, only 2 requirements, every single month for the life they have that loan, we would make a principal reduction towards their payment. Over the course of the loan, this saves them 10% worth of interest. So for example, if the loan is $500,000 loan, it would reduce the overall interest by $50,000. So it's huge and very, very significant savings for them. And essentially what this does is every single month we make that principal reduction. The way we can do this is instead of operating like a traditional bank off of banking income, we're giving that banking generated income back to our clients because we operate off of mortgage income since we're a mortgage company. So it's kind of flipping the banking industry a little bit upside down and achieving a huge savings for our clients. As far as rates, so if we have a client today with a 2.875 interest rate, this effectively reduces the interest they pay to 2.375. So literally a 0.5% lower interest. So we are so excited to be offering this to our clients. In the email body, have a few more specific details, have our website link, but please feel free to reach out anytime. I can answer questions, run scenarios, and I'll definitely be making sure we connect with all of our clients on this awesome new program. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Okay. So, did you guys catch that?
No.
Can you go back to his email? I just want to take a picture of his info really quick.
Sure. What I'm going to do is I'm going to send out the link and forward his email to everyone, just so that you guys have it. And Brett's been on a couple times before. It's a really cool program that they're always looking at ways to, help the clients. And basically, they're doing a principal reduction program through using direct pay. And he was going to come on, and he had an interview today at noon that he had to do for a new loan officer. So I'm actually going to have him on next week to go over it more, because while I can, understand just enough, I feel like with financing, I just have enough knowledge to get myself in trouble if I'm trying to over explain. So I will definitely, leave details to him, but I will forward that email out to all of you guys. Just another way to save money. If you have clients who are looking to refinance, a lot of times they try and go for the lowest rate. Well, as you heard him say, over the life of the loan, this can save you up to 10% of your interest cost. So it's not only just a great rate, because his rates aren't higher, just so you know, than other people. He's personally done loans for me. And I have one of my friends that's pre-approved with him right now. So it's not like I'm ever going to bring you guys something that I wouldn't use. I just want to make sure that you guys are aware of that. But it definitely has a lot of benefits and different things that he can talk about very intelligently about financing. So anything that's going to save your clients money or help them pay it off their loans sooner, hey, I always want to share that with you guys. Also, if you guys have lenders that you love, I would love to hear about them. We started a list that was all of the contractors that you guys like. So anytime you work with a contractor, whether it's a title, escrow, lender, builder, electrician, septic, plumber, anything that could possibly be related to housing, send that information in and be like, hey, I want this person on our list because I had a great experience. If you have a bad experience with someone, send that information in. Just make sure you put on there, hey, I don't want to recommend this person. This is why. So that if they are on our recommended list, we can, it's a fluid list. It's one of the things that I always say about goals is you don't like create goals and then never go back to them. It's something that you're constantly working on. It's what you create your to-do list from. It's a document that you revisit, and it's not something where you just go, oh yeah, these people are great and they're going to be great forever. I've had a ton of contractors that have been awesome for like 2 years, and then all of a sudden, nope, you don't want to recommend them anymore. So we always want to add people to our lists of contractors that we like, that we recommend, and we can save it on, Brokerment so that you guys have access to it. So definitely do send those in again. I would love to get more of that. Did anybody learn anything in the Matrix 10 class that they want to talk about? Were any of you guys in the Matrix 10 class or Matrix X?
Mhm.
Gal, is it Matrix X or Matrix 10?
I think it's Matrix 10, but don't quote me. I'm not
Yeah.
sure. It's the new Matrix.
Yes, we'll go with that. I like it. So yeah, did anybody learn anything that they wanted to share? Because I went to the old link that the first time that apparently they changed the link. So I had saved it to my calendar. And so I ended up emailing the person going, hey, I can't get into class. What's going on? And I ended up messaging Masha at some point during the class going, hey, I can't get in. Do you know what's going on? She was like, yeah, everyone was on. Oh, they switched links. I'm like, oh. So sometimes, again, things change. So keeping up with things and making sure you have, the newest link and all of that good information, it's definitely good to do that. So yeah, got to live by that example, right? Does anybody have any questions or issues that they've been having with deals? Tell us, Skull, what's going on?
So this is very interesting. I just wanted to share it also just for our common knowledge. You always trust the title insurance and title to do their job and to, like that's where the deed is secured, right? And
Don't trust anyone.
Exactly.
huh?
She said, don't trust anyone.
God.
I agree,
So-
Mila.
So I put an offer on this townhome in West Seattle. It turns out when the developer sold it, they went through, I guess, I'm sorry, I'm naming name of the title companies, but it's good to know. Chicago was the title on the developer side.
Mhm.
And the townhomes are like 4 in a row attached to each other and then the next 4. And that entire 8 rows, they have the lot number does not match the address. And they closed on all of those the same way. So now the new owners that want to sell it, it's sold like on several of those properties twice without the title catching it. So Tycor caught it this time on
Yes.
2 of the listings. And I'm telling you, Tycor is my new title company. And it wasn't even an officer. It was some, assistant to somebody that caught it. So
Mhm.
hero of the office. Anyways, they found it and it's taken 8 months to clear that because here's the second part is the title insurance did not cover it. So the claims would not cover it. Why? Because that title insurance, and don't quote me on this, but we need to have another title officer to have a class on this, said that the title insurance is only good for 1 year on certain aspects of the title insurance. So this had passed the 1 year. So the woman had moved to New York. She had to hire lawyers to get this cleared. 8 months, this property sat vacant on the market. And finally they cleared it up. and that property is clear, but the property that we put an offer on is not clear. So my question now to you is, can we get out of the deal using the title clause of the purchase and sale agreement? Because it's going to take forever for this to clear.
You don't even have to use the title. They can't provide clear title.
Right. So can I just do a
Rescission.
rescission
Yeah.
clause and just get out of it today before the closing? Our closing is on the 10th, but
It can't close. You have to have clear title.
yeah, but I'm saying, can I get out of it before the 10th, before it
Yeah.
reaches that? Okay, good. Okay, I'm
Yeah,
gonna
I mean, here's the thing. You just say, hey, title hasn't been cleared. It doesn't look like it's going to be cleared.
and the listing agent was not doing anything. I was doing all the work. I was calling and following up with this title company, with the other title company. It's like, it is not worth my 2.5% commission to do all this work for the seller, you know?
No,
Yeah.
it's not. So
How is it possible? So the builder was selling the same unit to two different buyers?
The builder sold all those units. It's High Point. I don't know if you guys are familiar with it. It's a city contracts with different developers to create multi,
Family units?
right, multi-family units. And so this particular developer closed with Chicago, and Chicago did not catch it. They just trusted what the developer and the contract.
What's the name of the developer?
I don't know. I haven't found out yet.
I'll tell you, Mila, this is not something that is just for condos. New construction, Chicago title, sorry, Chicago title, but I'm gonna go ahead and slam them right now because this is my experience with them. They're a little underhanded. They cut corners. They are not sticklers. They don't go through things with a fine-tooth comb. I've seen it on single family homes, new construction, and the builder's like, that's not my problem. They're supposed to do this, where, you know, they don't even have the correct tax ID number that they've closed under. I've seen it, I'm telling you, and the entity that I have seen the most title problems with is Chicago. You haven't seen any Chicago title people come on here because of this issue. They're a little kind of known throughout the industry as not being, you know, sticklers.
And First America, I add them to it because they're the secondary now on two that closed after that. First America is horrible. They're not even responding. They keep putting us off. It's been 2 weeks now, and really horrible service, horrible senior officers just doing the paper.
So when you're dealing with title, we pretty much know who my favorites are. I adore Ticor. They're awesome. Fidelity, I mean, you guys have seen Tanner and Brandon is like the title escrow guy. I go to him with all types of issues. And then you've got CW, Brad Hallstrom. He did a class with us when I first came on. He is a senior title, he's the most senior title officer at CW. He's based right in Bellevue. I've known him for literally over 30 years. So
CW was the third one. Sorry about this one, but CW refinance was on a refinance of another lot and they didn't catch it either. So, but yeah.
And on refis too, I hate to say it, but people don't check titles as closely on refis because the ownership isn't changing. So when ownership's not changing, they just basically go, oh yeah. You know, and you see that over and over and over because it's very rare that they put a senior title person to even look at a refi.
Yeah.
Because it's not changing hands. The only thing that they really are looking for is if there's something that's required to be paid off in order to put that person back in first position.
Yeah, but it's
like,
interesting that it wasn't insured. You know, that's interesting that it's not insured. That's scary.
Oh yeah. There's a lot of scary things when it comes to title, and people don't realize that's one of the reasons why you want to have a real estate professional involved on every single transaction. People think right now because the market's hot, oh, I can sell it myself. Well, you're not going to get as much. You're just not. and you don't understand how to read the contracts. And I know how many times I've gotten more than one over on for sale by owners. So just something to think about. If you are writing a for sale by owner contract and you're the only broker involved, realize who you represent and make sure you represent your party. So we got, talking a little bit about title and escrow, which is awesome. Does anybody have any idea, have they looked at the market today as far as stats of like how much inventory we have?
Yesterday, I won an offer for my clients, but it was so unexpected for them. They just forgot to show it to their parents, because usually when they go to see the house, like several hours later, they ask me to show this house again to their parents.
Mhm.
And yesterday they just said, okay, so we'll send an offer, but we don't think we're going to win it because it's our 6th attempt to win in a bidding war.
That
And
price point, yeah.
I was able to negotiate everything. Our offer wasn't the highest, but it was accepted. So it was like a huge surprise for them. Yeah, and today the listing agent rejected for us to go and show the house to their parents, which was very frustrating.
Which we're working on getting access. I have a feeling that it was a managing broker I spoke with, because the designated broker is not in at the office.
So he reached out to me and said, like, you know what? And I said, like, give me the real reason why you're not allowing us to go there. Just be honest. And he said, because a lot of times when people go to the house after the mutual acceptance, and if they have the inspection waived, they do their own inspection without like letting the seller know. And then the seller has to fix all the problems after those buyers, because they damaged the property somehow. So they just don't want to have it anymore. And they even removed the log box, so preventing all other parties with the access to the key box to come into the house.
Now, here's the thing, Mila, I'm going to admit that when I was doing short sales, as soon as I got an accepted offer, I would pull the lockbox, but it would be after inspection or something of that nature, so that I could be there when the appraiser came. Like, I strategically did that. I will admit this, because then when you met the appraiser, when you're working on short sales, you can basically say, here's the comps. Look, I've already done your worksheet, and to help get the price that you needed to get. Now, in today's market, I mean, maybe if there was a family who is absolutely afraid of COVID, or people were showing up and trying to show the house without appointments or something, then I could see it. But this is, guys, this is a vacant home.
Yes.
Vacant. And I literally was like, are the houses I mean, I don't even want to tell you guys how I would respond, because it's going to make you guys respond the way that I would. And I don't want you to do that. Do as I say, not as I do. Right. So, I mean, I just don't understand, like literally do not understand what this person's thinking, because she literally asked guys just to show the home to the parents. Like you told him what you were trying to do. And I had to call his broker to try and convince this guy to let her in.
Yeah,
this is real life. You can't, truth is stranger than fiction. You can't make up stories like this. Like literally, people are always like, oh, selling Sunset's so fake. I'm like, maybe the drama between people within the office is, but trust me, drama when it comes to the clients or brokers that you're doing a cross sell with, it's real. It's so real.
So did you finally get in, or you haven't yet?
So now we have another problem. So the buyers do not want to deposit the earnest money before they show the house to the parents. However, the listing agent says he will show the house only when the earnest money is deposited.
So the listing agent wants to show the house now?
The agent agreed to show the house on Friday, but we need to deposit the earnest money before we go there with the parents. And my clients don't want to deposit earnest money before they show the house to the parents.
Mila, what I would suggest is say, hey, I'm going to pick up the check. So I will be in possession of the earnest money check. We're going to meet at the house. They want to go see it today. So I really would appreciate it if you could either let me pick up the key and bring it back. Ensure to him you're not doing an inspection. There's no inspector that's going to be present. And you negotiated the sale. You can negotiate a showing. I have faith.
Yeah, I offered this, so I said like I can pick up the key from your office, show it to my clients, make sure that everything is locked, nobody is in the house, and bring it back to you. And he said, no, I have to be there, and I don't have time today. I'm super busy, so Friday would work. Probably.
I mean, what a way to tie up her listing. Like if these people don't want it, so wouldn't she want to know sooner? You know?
No, he wants to get the earnest money deposited because the offer is not subject to inspection.
Right, I know, but you don't want to.
He's trying to get them to deposit earnest money because right now he's already changed it to pending, but there is no collateral with the offer. And so technically you're not mutual until there's actual consideration.
But we must deposit the earnest money within 3 days after the mutual acceptance, right? 2 days. Oh, sorry. So if we will not do that, what's going to happen?
Contract is no longer valid. So your buyers don't have the opportunity to buy the home anymore.
How about the financing contingency? Can't you just deposit the earnest money? If anything goes wrong, you can get out of it through the financing?
Right now, you have to prove financing. We had a scenario not too long ago. It wasn't mine. It was one of the brokers here. So hopefully whoever it was doesn't mind me sharing or isn't on the call. But they didn't believe the denial letter from the lender. And what had happened was their hours got cut during like the middle of the transaction. So they were approved, things changed, and now they're declined, which is the entire purpose for the financing contingency, right? Right now, you want to really have your clients underwritten before even going out to show them homes, because if they have a full underwriting approval, it's only subject to title and appraisal. So they really, I mean, they had done everything they could. The buyers still wanted to buy the house. They just couldn't. And the seller was trying to keep the earnest money, saying that the financing person was lying. And so we got a full decline from the lender, like from the underwriter, stating they had this amount of income. Their hours were cut due to COVID, and now they're at this. And they finally released earnest money. But it was like pulling teeth. Like they didn't believe the lender. The lender letter didn't cut it. They wanted like something from an underwriter or from someone not a loan officer. So where back in the day you used to be able to use financing to get out, now it's a little bit tougher.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So don't count on that. If the buyers are looking for a way out, it's a tough market to have a lot of ways out of offers right now, because listing brokers are going through offers because they have multiple.
Mm-hmm.
So just something to think about. You don't want to necessarily depend on a financing denial letter to get someone out of something unless they really would be denied financing. And if they'd be denied financing, why are you wasting your time writing it up?
Yeah, and just to clarify about the earnest money. So if we signed the contract last night, December 1st, so they
So you
need to
have the
deposit money.
second, third. So
Oh,
it needs to be
second and
in
Mhm.
by the 3rd. So tomorrow.
Or today.
Today's the 2nd.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And is there a cutoff line? Is it 9 p.m.?
For earnest money deposit,
Yeah, so you
I
have,
don't know what escrow company you're going to deposit into at 9 p.m.
yeah, that's right. But like, there's no cutoff. Is there a time cutoff or anything like that?
By close of escrow. The escrow company is usually closed by 5 p.m.
At 5
So
p.m.
you would need to have it delivered prior to.
So if the buyer doesn't deposit the earnest money and
Seller could still sign accepting, like an addendum, accepting late earnest money. But I don't think that necessarily
seller
in a
sue the
multi-offer
buyer?
situation, it's a great way to go. I would tell the buyers, hey, you know, are you waiting on your parents' approval to decide whether or not to buy the house?
kind of,
Because if they want to buy the house, they need to put the earnest money in, just given the fact it was multiple offers and everything else. And like I said, Mila, send an email and just say, hey, just confirming, you know, my buyers will be depositing the earnest money, and what time Friday can we show them?
yeah, I've done it. He
Okay,
confirmed.
so
He
as
said
long as you have the email showing that, then if he doesn't show or doesn't allow your clients to view the property, that's a problem.
Mhm.
Because one of the things I'll always say is get it in writing, guys.
And you might want to not bring them, the drama with the listing agent. You might not want to share that with your buyer until it becomes a problem, because then it creates mistrust, like,
I wouldn't trust this guy farther than I could throw him
yeah,
already.
I know.
I'm telling you right now.
Yeah, I'm just.
But the mistrust from the buyers, they don't have an inspection. Really, it's just about the property. But the fact that he took the lockbox off, and I said this to his managing broker, I said that causes concern for buyers. Why is he removing the lockbox? Why is he not allowing them to go see the house? Did something happen to the house? I mean, all of these issues are going to show up, and you're going to have a buyer who suddenly has cold feet due to the actions of the listing broker. I already called him out to his boss pretty much and was like, this isn't.
Yeah, and my
right.
buyers found something suspicious in this case,
Right? It's weird. Like to have gone and pulled the lockbox off, like less than 24 hours, but he's too busy to open the house until Friday, but he had plenty of time to run by and pull a lockbox. You know what I'm like? Doesn't that seem weird?
Seems suspicious.
Yeah, to me, I would not trust this guy further than I could throw him, which, let's face it, it's not going to be that far. So, anybody else have anything fun and exciting going on with any of their deals?
I got curious about your deal that you said you beat a $40,000 above yours. Why did they not take the other transaction even for 5,000 more than yours?
Because it was subject to financing. They had waived inspection. They had offered additional down payment. So even with the 22 AD, and they had an additional down payment of up to 30,000, they had done an escalation up to 650. Well, mine was the second highest offer because the property was listed at 575. We were at 615, all cash, no contingencies, nothing, right? And we were able to close in less than 2 weeks. So they weren't able to close until January. They had offered additional down. I know the listing broker knew she listed at 575. So if that appraisal came in at 575, even with an additional 30,000 down, my offer was stronger. So that's why, because I went through this all with the listing broker, because she sent me the whole offer. By the way, guys, you don't have to send the whole offer on an escalation. Don't do that. Okay. But she did. She sent it to me. And so I went through the whole thing with her and basically sold her. Her clients were making the right choice, because if she had locked up the property for 50 days, I said, what if there's an entire shutdown of the state? Because is that not a real possibility right now? What if the financing is no longer a viable option? You've now lost 45 days. Your clients have to pay for title or for payment on their home. They have to pay for taxes. They have to pay for insurance, and they're going to be mad at you. And she was just like, oh my gosh, I didn't think about any of that right now. So even if your offer, if you're representing a cash buyer, there's a lot of factors that you can go into play. Now, you know, one of the ways that I sold it to her was, I know you're an experienced agent. I mean, you price this property correctly. Now, just because there are offers coming in higher than that, that does not mean the appraised value is going to go up. And you and I both know from doing CMAs that the appraised price is probably going to come in right at list price. Even if you got it at 580 plus $30,000 is 610. So at 615, they have a cheaper closing because they're not having to worry about any financing costs whatsoever about anything. Guaranteed closing.
I love a savvy negotiator woman.
Yeah,
Wasn't on a Rambler in Renton by any chance, is it? Did you beat me?
it was not.
Okay.
No, it was 2.5 acres on a tri-level in Kent.
Oh, okay. Totally different listing. All right.
I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry if I beat you. That's why I said, I'm seriously, guys, I'm glad sometimes when I'm out there that I don't know like who I'm up against, because I would be like, oh, no, don't take my offer, go with theirs. You know? It was funny. So there's been a team, you guys, if you want to, you know, look this up, you guys can, I don't really care. There was a buyer I have, and there's been a team that I've been scouting for since I came here. I think I talked to the listing broker on one of my deals right now that's in contract. It was like June. It was like my second or third day at Nexus, right? I'm like, I don't really know anything about this company, but you should come over. And so it cracked me up because now I'm in a cross sale with him, and he keeps postponing our talk to revisit him coming to Nexus. And it's like, oh, we're going to close on this date. Let's postpone it. Let's postpone it. And it, like, literally, it just makes me laugh because they've raised the other sales prices. Because I told him after we were already in mutual how badly he mispriced these. Because I sent him all the comps. I was like, yeah, you're about 40,000 under where you should be. But thanks for being mutual with my client and giving us a second floor full of hardwood floors in this market. Right? So all of a sudden he's got this new kind of, oh, great. You know, I kind of want to find out a little bit more now about Nexus. So it's pretty funny because I think he's waiting for these townhouses to close if he makes a move. Because a lot of people, just so you know, brokers that are looking at moving, it's not like here. You don't get paid right away. You know, you don't really know what your paycheck's going to be until the paycheck actually comes, and it's an actual check. It's not even direct deposit. Some of these places, it shocks me when I'm talking to brokers how they're paid. Literally, they don't even know what half the fees are that they're paying. And I'm just going, how do you work like that? I mean, I just cannot imagine working for, 45 days, or, when you're working with a buyer, it can be, you've been working with the same buyer for 6 months before you get a paycheck, and you don't even know what that paycheck's going to be because you're not sure what your fees are. You're not sure when the paycheck's actually going to come out. Just because there's a delay. If you have a brokerage that gets paper checks, then, because just the other day, I'm not going to say which agent it was, but there was an agent who was like, hey, this closed on Tuesday, the wire went out Wednesday, and the title company confirmed it. Well, it didn't. We didn't get it. So then I responded and CC'd the title company, and I was like, hey, this did not come in. Why are you telling my broker that you paid when you didn't? And it was like, oh, yeah, so that's going to go out tomorrow. They hadn't even set up the wire yet, and it closed on a Tuesday. Now, this was over Thanksgiving, but still, I couldn't believe it because the rep had told our broker, oh yeah, we sent that out on Wednesday. It wasn't even set up to go out until, like, I think it showed up on Tuesday. And I just can't believe that they would set up this precedence, because I will tell you right now, as soon as we can, we always want to pay people. Like, I love getting to send like a little congratulations on your closing. I love it. I love to see you guys succeeding. I love to see you guys. I always wish I could see what you guys buy yourselves as like closing presents. I don't know who else does that, but you know, just saying, oh, I closed something. Oh, this is great. And like seeing what you guys do for yourselves for closing, whether it be like a massage or a new purse. I don't know if Vlad is still on here or not. No, but you know, I just would love to see that. So anytime you guys feel like sharing, I'm here, because that it just makes me so happy to see you guys out there doing closings and moving along. It's awesome. So does anybody else have anything on our lovely Wednesdays together that they have questions about, or a topic they want me to put into either training, or a topic that they want me to cover on the sales meetings? I know we have a showing time training coming up, which is pretty cool because it can do a lot. It can actually send the feedback and notify the sellers. I started doing that and I really love it.
I'd love to get the time management one time by you.
So, haha, in December, your wish is my command. It's already in the works. In December, we're going to do, I think we're starting towards the end of December. I have to double check, but we're doing like goals, and part of that will be time management, along with really the best thing that I can say about that is have a schedule and stick with your schedule. Even if you schedule, you know, 1 to 2 for laundry, do not stop at 2:05. Like, you stop at 2 and you go to what you were doing. Now, you may have to move and reschedule something for that in the next day, but you always got to stick to your schedule, because once you get behind schedule, it's really hard to get caught back up. So it's something where you have to also make sure in time management that you put in like 15 to 20 minute windows for like bathroom breaks, eating, like literally schedule all that stuff in, because it's going to happen anyways. And when I've seen people fail with goals and time management, it's when they have like this vision of, oh, this is perfect for my time management. I'm going to spend from 8 to 12 calling leads. Well, have you ever sat down for 4 hours and called leads? It's not fun. You're like, okay, I don't want to talk to anybody else for the rest of the day, because you really want to set it up where you're doing, okay, like an hour or two of follow-up. Then you give yourself like a 15-minute stretch break, get a snack, get water, go to the bathroom, anything that you need to do, then schedule something else. So you want to schedule things in realistic time periods. You don't want to spend 4 or 5 hours straight calling people, because you're going to be just completely dead. So think about, you know, your experience of things, and I'll go much more in depth clearly during our goals training, but that's the best way to manage time, is to have a schedule and to stick with it. Like, I have my kids' school, right? Because they are completely homeschooled. They are not doing the distance learning. I'm the teacher. It's so special. So I had them scheduled 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. That's their school time. That's it. Because if you can figure out how to do, okay, we're doing 20 minutes of reading, we're doing 20 minutes of math, and then I have science online classes that they do online through like Varsity Tutors and a couple of, like there's websites, and then they do like White Hat Junior coding classes, and then they're taking foreign language online. Like those are online, but the core stuff, we just bust through it in 2 hours. They read during the day too, but that's where time management, like at school, right? It's like they spend 4 or 5 hours covering what I can do in 2, because it's one-on-one time. It's, hey, let's hit this, let's do that. And that's really how, when you start drilling in on time management, what you can do for your time management, you can drill down where you're succinct, you get real clear on what you need to accomplish, and you start accomplishing that during that time period. So there's a little look into the window of the scary morasses in my mind, but there you go. Anybody else have any questions?
Thank you. I gotta go, but thank you so much for the.
Of course. All right, guys. Well, thank you again for taking time out of your Wednesdays. I know that right now the market is insane and there's so much going on. So thanks for taking time out to log in, and let me know if you have any questions. I'll be sending out Brett's emails. You guys have the video as well. Have a great day.
Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Bye.